Hello, I just got in my first order from Fire Mountain Gems. Let me show you what I got. So first, I purchased this strand of 10mm round black glass beads with little white flecks in them. Thought that that was pretty neutral and could be used in a couple things as spacers between beads and such. Then I got this this was $1. This pack of 5 strands was $5, so about $1 each. And this was a mix of glass and gemstones. So this one looks like it's a wide rose quartz. This one might be glass. There's like a faint pinkish hue to these beads here, but it's fairly clear. And then here they really have a different feel to them. They look like they could be a stone here. This one has like a shininess to it that could be tiger's eye. And really like the crackle in these bluish, likely a magnesite, and then these smaller beads. They have some imperfections in them, so that gives more of an indication that they're likely gemstones. Then moving on to some more strands. I received this strand of magnesite beads as a free gift. So I think that in the past I might not have been super excited about these colors, but now as a junk journaler, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing salvage patina and vintage photo. So really liking the color of that. And this one here. And I think that this would be really nice to use in our journals. Now moving on to some of these larger pieces here. So I got 2 packs of 3 strands, and they were much larger. So these were mixes of different shaped beads, and I like the shape of beads, but the size is a kind of a challenge. So here we have this green jadish one where the sides are a bit flattened. So that's a slightly different shape, and it's a nice color and a nice size. And then we have this one with a fun star shape to it, but it is pretty thick. So pretty thick, pretty large. It's fun, but there's a lot of these to use. And then I have these rectangular shaped beads that have a shiny pearlescent some layer inside of there, and then it's coated in this clear plastic or glass. No, it's probably glass. And then we've got these little splotches of dark purple. So these are fun. These are very unique. They're different, but they're really big and may be difficult for me to use. Then I got the second strand here. And here we've got more fun shapes. This one here, it looks like it was a rectangular shape that was hand carved where the all the corners were carved off. So then you've got this diamond pattern on one side and all these corners. It's a really fun shape. It's pretty hefty though. So pretty thick piece there. This one, it's cylindrical. And it's got this black and white color, well, gray and off-white color to it that, you know, is a nice muted tones, and it could be useful. And this one here, it has lovely different colors in it, and also it's got a really unique shape that I've never seen before. What we have here is 4 of these sides that are kind of like curved around. So you've got 4 of those sides. And then you've got all these different shades between some of them that have like gray and yellow to it, to more of a salmony pinky color. So this is a fun shape and it's a really nice size. So the packs of 3 here were $2.21 each. That's why I took a gamble and got these 2 packs to see what those were about. But I think that the size of these beads are such that it would be difficult to use looking at things like this. So when I purchased this grab bag collection of round beads, these were supposed to be between 3 and 16 millimeters across. So there was a range here, but this seems like a pretty useful range. And then if this was the 16 millimeter, that's pretty thick and a little bulky. But then you move on to these larger beads here. The smallest size is 16 by 8 millimeters, and the largest could be up to 41 by 24 millimeters. So this one might be closer to 16 around, and a little less lengthwise. And these are definitely, I mean, 41 millimeters is almost 2 inches wide or long. So I think that if I went back again, I would try to see if I can get a mystery bag of strands that were one size smaller. So if they came in fun shapes but were a size like this, I think it would be a lot easier to use. Okay, now I've got 2 grab bags of like mixed loose pieces to share with you. So I got this came in a bag, and I dumped it into this box here, but this is a half-pound bag of mother of pearl and shell beads, and they have a large variety in colors and shapes, and the holes could be going through it lengthwise, or just drilled straight at the top, or in one of these notches. So you can see that they've used very large shell pieces. So these are pretty sturdy pieces. If you drop it on a stone floor, there wouldn't be any hope. But for normal use, it's not like the thin piece of shell you might find on the beach. These are pretty solid pieces here, into which they have they took a large shell and cut it down into these different shapes and drilled into. So fire mounted gems will warn you that you will want to check for color fastness, and that would be definitely the case here. These are clearly dyed beads. So you can see here, for example, the outside has been dyed a color, and many of these colors will fade. The orangey, pinky ones are going to likely fade faster than some of these other colors. So if you put it on the outside of your journal, you might see some of that. But it's a fun variety of different things. We've got ones with holes through the center. We've got ones that are clearly a piece of a shell. And then there are some of these smaller pieces as well, in different shades and colors and shapes. So we've got little flowers and all sorts of fun things in here that will give us a lot of different things to play with to put into our junk journals. And the placement of the holes, let's see, this one here, for example, it's got 2 holes on this side going through there. And so you've got a variety of how these have been drilled. But overall, I think that these are really nice size. And for a half pound of beads for $3, I think this is a really good way to get a lot of materials for junk journal jewelry. Now I got this other bag. They call it a Boss bead bag. So it came in a literal, paper bag, which I will, as a bonus, use in my junk journaling. And it came with a free gift. I think that they must have put this aside just for me. I think that this might be an actual peacock feather in there, because you can see the the separate threads inside of this clear acrylic or plastic on top. So that's fun. That's a really nice bonus that happens to really work for me. But this bag of beads was $11, and it comes with, a total mystery of what might come in here. But since it's a pound of beads, it goes by weight. Some of these things are clearly like, cheap plastic ones and like lighter wooden ones, but they don't take up a lot of weight, so they're not doing a whole lot of harm in the total there. But you've got a large variety of things, and I think that when I've looked into what others have gotten from this collection, these kinds of grab bags, the selection changes. So if you buy a bag of beads now, you're likely not going to get the same mix of things, but you'll get like a similar kinds of beads and sizes and other like random things like, you know, for example, this earring. I don't know how I could attach anything to it, except by accident, I guess. And here's a loop. So all sorts of different materials, colors, shapes, stray button, and different sizes. They have a couple of these like somewhat larger pieces, and then they have a lot of smaller pieces and other like random things that you could attach beads to, presumably. So this was a fun pack. Not a big, you know, they not too many of these larger pieces, which is good and bad. I mean, with the 1 pound weight, you can get more variety by not having as many of those heavy ones. But some of these things, like you know, there's a bunch of skulls in here, and these little guys with the 3 eye-like things on it, not a huge fan of those. And I think that you know, since they're batch making these, I'm glad that I got only 1 of these bags and not 2, because, you know, I wouldn't need, you know, 2 bags with a bunch of these or 2 of these. Well, maybe I could use 2 of these. That would be okay. But I thought that this was a really nice way to get a nice selection here. However, I probably am not gonna get another one unless it's on sale. And I would only get 1 at a time for that reason, that I would want more variety. You can see here that there is a lot of small beads in here. And for junk journaling, I don't have a use for a lot of these smaller beads. I'm looking for something that is more of a larger, mid-sized here. Not too large, but not too small, because I don't have a lot of use of having all these little tiny pieces around. So I'm glad I got this bag. Don't think I'd get another one for a while, unless it was on sale. I think that this half pound of shell was really nice. This whole package overall was pretty good. The shipping was $7 flat rate for all of this, so you could definitely have a much larger selection. I think it's like 20 pounds or something for the flat rate shipping, so that's pretty nice. That's pretty good for shipping. But I would in the future want to get strands of shaped beads that are more of this size, and definitely appreciate that there's a large variety here. You know, I'm not looking for gemstones. I'm not looking for, you know, anything that's particularly precious for junk journals, just like anything else we want to put in junk journals. But there are some nice finds in here that could be used, and I really need to get to making some of them, especially since I'm probably going to be using this one at a time. I really like these. It's just going to take a while to get through this strand. So hope that is helpful. Thanks for watching.